in a frazzle. He says we should stock up on I think he said 3 months worth of food. It sounds like there's going to be blockages and stuff in there might be things that you won't be able to get or something like that. I don't think we're going to have an all-out war or anything like that, but for peace of mind to have 3 months worth of food. And I usually do the stock up in the fall, but I'm going to do it early this year. I'm going to do it in the summer. I've already started doing the stock up because there's a lot of people that are predicting this isn't going to be the best fall in the world. So you don't want to do your stock up during a bad time, because you might find that either the stuff's going to be real expensive or maybe some things you won't be able to find. So I'm going to do it now when things are fine, things are okay. Sounds like there might be some kind of disruptions. So it's better to get this stuff now. And I am kind of low on Indian food. I've been using it. It's kind of like I've just got a few things left, sort of. I've used up most of my stock, and it's like, okay, I bought that last year when I went to some of the events. I might have bought it last fall or last spring. And it's like, yeah, I haven't bought it for a while. And I tried looking some of this stuff up online, and it seems real expensive. And you can't get it in La Crosse. I checked that. I thought there would be a Asian store there that had it, but they don't have Indian grocery in La Crosse. I would have liked to go up to La Crosse. And I think it's getting too warm to go to Keokuk. To collect geodes. So I'm going to get some stock up in Madison. I'm going to go to the Indian. There's like 3 different places in Madison. There's actually 4 or 5, I think. There's a bunch. Let's see, we're at 351. There we go. Yeah, oil's at a bottom. Garrett's Soloway is there's a gap fill under where it was, and it often returns to those gap fills, and it's maybe I don't know, it looked like it was a sizable gap fill. And what a gap fill is back last, I don't know, earlier this year or something, it was right around the time of when Iran started, it gapped up. So let's say it closed at $60 on Friday, and then the Iran thing broke out, and of course now shipping stopped, and so it went from a $60 close to, let's say, a $65, and then it opened at $65. So there were no orders between $60 and $65 taken. So those orders got skipped. In the offering, it's kind of like an auction on when you're buying and selling futures contracts, and there's ways to invest in oil and stuff, and so those orders got skipped. And so he says that often the price will actually come back down and fill, I don't know if it's the same orders or not, but it'll come down and fill those orders. It's just something, and yeah, it's true, it happens. So it kind of, he calls it coming back to the scene of the crime. So we're actually right near that gap fill that happened months ago. we're near that price. It's gone way up, and it's come all the way back down to like the day after the Iran crisis. And when that gap fills, that's going to be near the bottom of the trend line. And he's kind of nibbling on some futures he might invest. He does day trading. And so he is going to buy a little bit of oil. And he says it's probably not going to go below, let's say 60. I can't remember the exact price. But that's going to bounce off that and go back up. And of course in Iran, you know, it's not resolved. That's not resolved over there. I think Trump kind of manipulated the price of oil down by trying to negotiate with them. And they probably know what he's doing. They have no intention of negotiating with him. They're going to say they'll negotiate when their back is up against the wall, and then as soon as they find a way around it, they will. They're not honest people at all. I mean, if they could kill Trump, they would. Apparently they can't. The Democrats would like to kill him too, but they tried to and they can't. Apparently he's got a good police force. Maybe he's got some angels helping him too. Somebody's helping him out. But gold's at a similar, I think oil's more oversold than gold, but gold's at a similar juncture, and it's not necessarily a gap fill though. But gold is pretty sold off, and so is silver. Silver's was in the 50s. I didn't buy any silver. I think that if we get another panic, I think it could go lower though, both gold and silver. What might happen is, gold's not going to just keep trading where it is. I think what's going to happen is it's going to bounce. Gold and silver and oil will bounce. And Bitcoin too, maybe. And they'll go up. And then the panic will come, and it'll drop it from the higher price. But it might, if it's a deep panic, it might go below where it was Friday. So silver was 64 at one point. So let's say it bounces to 74, and gold bounces from 4,000 to 4,300, let's say. And then it gets to 43, 44, and then maybe a black swan event happens, or the economy turns or something like that. Well, then it'll drop back down to 4,000, and then if there's a little bit more panic, if it's a deep enough panic, it'll go back down to 3,500. And, if we get a really bad day where the markets are selling off, it'll get down to 3,500. And there might even be a wick down further than that. If you are watching, you might be able to get it cheaper if it happens during the day. And, that'll happen in October. Late September, October, something like that. And there, if you're watching, maybe you can pick up gold real cheap. I don't know if you can pick up physical that cheap. But you might be able to get it on the exchange, on E-Trade, at a good price. Gold-related stocks, GLD, and then it's going to go to 10,000. So it's going to go from 3,500 to 10,000. I think there's going to be a bit of, initially there'll be deflation, which is what will make gold go down, and then they can't sustain that because they're going to have to print money to get some kind of relief, because we don't have any money in this country, so they'll have to print money, and that'll make gold go up. They'll have to lower rates to try to fix the economy, and that'll make gold go to 10,000. So initially everything's going to